Hey there, friends. Nibs again. Out here in the garage tonight, doing a little bit of goofing around. It's a miserable, rainy day outside, so I wanted to keep it inside and have a little bit of fun, do a little bit of tinkering around. And went to a antique mall yesterday, picked up some really cool knives, and then I had another one come in the mail today. So this is kind of a mail call, but I really wanted to get back into showing you guys some of what I do to kind of recondition these knives. This little case that I got today needs a really good cleaning. It's a little sluggish on the main blade snap, but I think a cleaning will get some of that back. It may not bring it all back, but we're going to see what we can do. But I'm going to bring you up to the tabletop camera here, and we'll take a much closer look at these knives. I got some really cool stuff, ones that I've heard about on other people's channels, but I've never seen them out in the wild. So I bought a couple of really cool. One of them is in really good shape. The other one needs some real TLC. I'm not sure. I got it pretty cheap, so it's a work in progress. But got 5 knives to look at. Let's go up here to the tabletop and take a look at it. All right, so here, check, make sure my hands are where they need to be. So we have, here's that little case I was talking about. We got this. This is a fairly newer production knife. It does have a crack there. I'm only going to work on the red one, but we're going to talk about the rest of these. This can be stabilized with some super glue and sanded, and that should disappear pretty well. But this is a Utica cutlery, USA. Stockman, very much like a case 6318 pattern, even with the California clip point. Has a sheep's foot blade. Really nice little knife. I believe this is a spade blade over on this side, and that could use a little bit of oil. So I've been using this CLP oil for a while, but I'm getting pretty low. Works pretty good, but I picked up some Rem oil, and I was using Rem oil from the spray already, but still a little sluggish there. It snaps open, but I'll give that one a good clean, and it's really not dirty that much at all, but I'm sure it just needs some oil to be back in motion here. Now this is the one that's a real fixer-upper. Nope, that's not the right one. This is the one. This is the one that's a real fixer-upper. I've never had one of this brand. It's got what I believe to be some real nice horn covers. Somebody's carved their initials in there. I can probably sand that out. Needs some sanding on this side too. She's pretty far gone, so if I clean it up and make it look nice, I think it'll be a nice little user. But this is a LF&C knife company from New Britain, Connecticut. I've never heard of that before, but it's Landers, Frary, and Clark, and that company started. So those makers separately were making knives before 1917, but they incorporated together in 1917 and made knives up until about 1950. This is a kind of an older style Coke bottle, so probably in that earlier range. The main blade's pretty good shape. Does need a good little polishing and sanding, cleaning up. The secondary blade is, I believe, bent. I don't know if I want to try to shirt, but when you close it, it's actually hitting the liner there. So I need to figure out how to fix that. But we'll do that later on. Now these next two are really, really nice. Got these two from that same, all of these came from the same antique place. This one is a a nice Schrade Walden, New York, Schrade Cutco, Walden, New York tang stamp, and it has the tang stamp on both blades, so that's an early feature. They discontinued doing that quite a while before World War II. This tang stamp was used between 1917 and 1946, but I believe this knife's probably a teens into the 20s vintage Schrade, but in really nice shape. Just needs a little day at the spa, like I like to say. And then this, before we get into the case, this is another LF&C, and this one's in really nice shape. You can make out where it says Universal on the etch on the blade. Again, these were discontinued in the 50s. It has some chips there. We can probably clean that up a little bit. But before today, I didn't own one LF&C. Now I have two of them. So those are the pickups from the local antique store. So I have, I showed you guys this one. I really love this one. It's brand new. Well, not brand new. It's a 2022 Case Canoe. Came new in the box. Showed you that one already. This is one I'm really digging. This is an old Camillus 3-line tang stamp, which started in 1916 on this blade, and a round Camillus on this tang stamp, which ended in 1915. So that knife pretty specifically can be dated to about 1916, I would say. But anyway, so we're going to take a look at this case. This is a case XX with no dots, so 65 to 69. Has a little bit of snap on the main blade close, but it's pretty weak on the open. But it is very dirty down inside, so I think a good cleaning is going to help us a lot with that. And then the secondary blade is going pretty good. So, but we're going to go ahead and get this guy cleaned up. So what I like to do is get some Never Dull. Getting low, got to go to Walmart and pick up a new thing of Never Dull. But so wipe the whole knife down with Never Dull, just kind of get any dirt starting to come off from it. Really like the solvents in this Never Dull for cleaning up knives. Pretty red bone handles here on this guy. So even if it never snaps like we would hope it would, it's still a survivor, and I think that'll be pretty nice. So very dirty down inside though. So what I like to do, this is something I don't see anybody else doing, and it's really works out well because you get that solvent from the Never Dull down inside there and helps clean things out. Is take I buy these nail files from the Dollar General or Walmart. They're like $1 for 20 of them. And you can snap them off and make them squared off at the end. But you just pull out your Never Dull, little thin spot of it like that, and push it down into the groove with the nail file. And look at the green gunk coming up out of there. Do the other slot. So I can see there's some goop down inside there that's pushing in towards the. I get a little tiny. Got these from Harbor Freight, and this is I think the smallest size of the straight slot, but you can get right down in there, right up against where the tang meets the spring, and kind of pull all that garbage right out of there. So I hear all these guys talking about their birth year knives and stuff, and unfortunately I was born in '66, so this is as close as I can get for a birth year knife from Case. But let's keep going with that. So I like to just do that several times back and forth, get a new clean spot on the. But just keep doing that, and it just keeps pulling more and more gunk out of there. Looking a lot better already. And we got some gunk on the bottom sides of the tangs of the blades here. We'll scrape those off. Get rid of the small blade for a sec here. So we got some goop on the edge of the spring and the top of the tang here of the main blade. Getting a little. I don't think she's ever going to be 100% again, but we're getting some life there. So I didn't even tell you what this is. So the model number tang stamp on this guy is faded really bad, and the lister on eBay listed this as a 6220, which is a peanut. This is actually a 6229 and a half. This is a brass brush, by the way. So the 6229 and a half, they call this the Tadpole. And let's look at the. So again, we still got some gunk on these, and that'll really affect, especially if your springs are weak. It'll affect how your opening snap actually works. So but you can take your never dull and get right on top of that. And I like the never dull because it just takes the gunk away, pulls it away from the knife. You can get in on top of that. It's trying. Let me. So now I've got this gun cleaner here. spray some of that down in there and work this, and that'll, look at that rust coming out of there. Hear that snap? Ooh. Oh yeah, look at that life coming back. Look at that. The spring is depressed there, so I don't think it's going to do much more than that, but it's getting a little bit. Happy little tadpole. So I cleaned off the other side already. Let me hit the... Yeah, look at that gunk coming off of there. Snapping good closing. I like that. All right. So the rest of it's just kind of manual labor. I like to do these by hand. Not in any big hurry. I may cut out some of the manual labor in the middle, but ooh, look at that. Lots of gunk still coming out of there. So that gun cleaner really loosened up some more gunk in there. Let's get back in this groove again with the I see a lot of guys do a lot of different things, and I don't think there's any right or wrong way to clean up a knife, but I didn't steal this one, but I got it for a pretty good price, especially for a case from the 60s. Mainly, I think, because it was listed as the wrong model number that it actually is. So they listed it as a peanut, and people will look at it and really, that's not a peanut. Got a little bit of smudge right here on top of this liner. Can't get it to come off. Let's see if... There we go. Gotta get rid of it. It's a nice little knife, though. So I'm going to keep cleaning on this for a little while. I'll bring you back when I get to the polishing part, and then we'll wrap it up. Alrighty, I'm back, and I think it's I could maybe do a little more cleaning on it, but it's never going to be a showstopper, but it'll definitely be a pocket dropper for me. But now what I want to do to this one is just kind of finish cleaning up these pretty red bone handles and these bolsters, make them pop a little bit. And the way that I like to do that is I'll start out with it's not real scratched up too bad, so I would start maybe a little bit heavier grit, but I'll start out with some 5000 and see how that starts to make it look. And you can see that bolster's already looking pretty good. You can lay the sandpaper down and work the knife on the sandpaper instead of the sandpaper on the knife. And again, I don't want it to look brand new. I'm just making it look pretty. Right now I'm working the back springs and the back of the liners. It's looking pretty good. Hit the bone a little. I had a new piece of 7,000. Let me find that real quick. Oh, must have used it pretty good. That's it right there. $7,000 really makes these things pop. That's looking pretty nice. So now I'll go back over it with our Never Dull just to get any schmutz from the sandpaper off of everything. Now you're wondering why I got this blue towel down here like this, I'll bet, right? So I take my flitz. I'll put a little dab of flitz out on the... I see people just kind of rubbing it on the knife and then rubbing it back off again, and it really does nothing. So you get a little bit of flitz on there and put a little bit of elbow grease. You can see that black coming there. That is actually that silver nickel polishing up and taking the last of the tarnish off of there. Get a little more. And you could do this with a buffing wheel and less manual labor, but and then last I'll take and just do the handles. Come back at it with the Never Dull, get the flitz, a little bit of residue from the flitz off the knife, but boy, she's looking nice. I mean, it retains once you open it, but it's my first tadpole, so she's a beauty. Really pretty nice shape. A little sluggish on the open, that's all. Pretty sharp already too. Could use a little touching up. Snap is not terrible on the, but and I wish it would do more. Yeah, you hear a little snap, little click there. But anyway, there you go. Let's go back to the eye level camera. I'll probably work on this a little bit more. Try to get that pivot to smooth out a little bit more. It definitely wants to click. It's coming along. A few more flushes with with oil, and I think that'll be it's never going to be a alligator snap, but let's go back to the eye level camera. All right, well, there you go. That is a beautiful little tadpole. So the two that I'm, well, I like the Schrade, and I like this LF&C. I like them all, and especially like the tadpole. So anyway, there you go. Kind of a longer one, but I haven't done a good knife cleanup in a while, so I thought it'd be fun to play around with that on a rainy day. Hope you guys liked the video. Till next time, have a great day.